Today we're talking in-house movements.
You ask questions and I answer.
Kind of like Gary Vee, but like for watches.
Boom, watch fan! What is up, watch geeks? Welcome to episode 31 of ASKTNH. It's pouring. Can you guys hear it in the audio? I'm not sure. If you guys can, then I'm sorry. If not, then it's just kind of nice aesthetically. It's really nice. We're in a car still. I like the whole car thing. How are you guys feeling about this? All right, let's roll.
Should I care about an in-house movement?
I think more so than caring or not caring about in-house movements, you have to ask more specific questions. I think that's really important because when you ask these kind of large blanket questions, the answer you get is always going to be misleading, right? I mean, yes, of course. If you like watches, then you should care about all aspects of watches, and this is a large one. It's not even a really kind of small aspect. It's a large aspect. I mean, the movement is what moves the watch. It's what keeps time, right? So I absolutely think that you should know something about movements and certain companies' in-house movements. I think what the more, interesting or more detailed question would be, should I buy a watch without an in-house movement? Or should companies, respectable companies, stick only to in-house movements? The answer is no. To my example, the example that I like to use the most is Cartier. Right? If you ask, John Goldberger, not that you asked John Goldberger, but if you watch, John Goldberger interviews like on Hodinkee or interviews he's done online, you can literally Google Auro Montanari or John Goldberger. You can put the names here. It's his alias and non-alias. You will find that Cartier is a huge value prop. Well, they're kind of expensive. They're a huge investable brand, and they're awesome for vintage watches. They're phenomenal. Why? Because they do what they do, and they do it really well. So what is it that Cartier does, or did, more so? Design. Cartier was a king of design. The Tank Dumont. You don't say Dumont in French. It's Dumont, probably. I don't know. I don't know how things are pronounced. But there are the Cintre. There are dozens of different variations. The Basculante of different Cartier tanks that were being made. The Cartier Crash. It's an extraordinary number of different variations, and people cared because of the design. Right? They were elegant. They stood for a refined gentleman that wasn't really trying to show off anything apart from his taste. Yes, I'm sure there was some sort of cultural understanding that Cartier was for rich people at a certain time. I'm sure there was, but especially in retrospect for a vintage watch now, it's more about design. Right? And they were not using Cartier movements. They were using movements from a whole host of different people. But Jaeger-LeCoultre was making a lot of their movements. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong. Jaeger-LeCoultre makes beautiful movements. So why can't a design company use movements from a brilliant movement manufacturer to create a brilliant watch? You don't need to do everything. You need to do what you do and do it really fucking well. I think that goes along with kind of everything, and how people think about their own even achievements. You don't need to be the king of everything. You really, not to get philosophical, but it's the truth, and it goes into watches. If you can have a really good design, that's it. Look at the Nautilus. The Nautilus and the Royal Oak, those are Jaeger-LeCoultre movements. Everyone loves Jaeger-LeCoultre, right? But Gerald Genta was a brilliant designer. Would you call him a watchmaker? No, right? Maybe you would. I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about him. I wouldn't. I think he's valued for his designs, and that's great. But I don't think you need to have this holistic perfection, just perfection in one field. So no, I don't think that you should have a make or break for in-house versus non-in-house movements. Quality of movement, different story. Using a Jaeger-LeCoultre movement versus using a Seiko movement, very different, and you should do your research. But no, don't steer away from a company because they use a different base. Thank you guys for watching episode 31 of AskTNH. I really enjoyed this question and kind of what it led into. I love Cartier. I love vintage Cartier watches. I think they're really beautiful. And if you guys have any, send me a photo. Not for sale, just to check out. See you guys soon.